Oh my God.
It was just the worst.
Yeah.
So, and it was awesome. So it was great because he called me that night. And we talked for like an hour about, I got to know him.
That's
It's
awesome.
like a total blessing in disguise. But so we worked out that he's got to go serve for 2 weeks down there. And we talked to like his Army charge officer or whatever. But they worked it out. And so he's going to serve for 2 weeks down there. And then he's going to start in November.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Oh,
Good stuff. Good stuff.
congratulations.
Yeah. A nice guy.
I don't think this is is this yours?
That's
Oh, you're using
Yeah,
that?
exactly. Why? Well, he said he only had one, I think. But he have two.
I don't know, but like I feel like I could use the shardier one. Great. And this thing hates me, so Jesus. Guys, we're gonna get started in just a couple minutes. Wait for, I think, a couple more people. I'm gonna go shut one of these doors. Does it cost a token to shut the door now?
No. I was going to say to come to the thing. I just left it in my
Oh,
office.
no, but I have some candy.
Okay. Awesome.
We'll just mention it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, come on in. Have a seat wherever. Cool, guys. We're gonna get started. Why, I have not asked you, what happened to your foot?
I fell down a flight of stairs last week.
Oh my gosh. Has anybody else had a guest have that happen with a guest? Fall down a flight of stairs? Did you come to just to like be the kickoff pitch for travel insurance today?
Yeah, it wasn't.
Cue the crowd.
Yeah, thanks, what?
First night of vacation in Denver. Yeah, I was visiting my buddy. He has an apartment basement,
Right?
and it's about, you walk in his door and it's a 4x4 square, and then there's stairs to the left.
Hmm.
We're a few years in, I hadn't seen him for a couple of years, and then I just took a step in. He asked me to get the door. Stepped in, stepped to the left to let him by me, and I didn't know that there was stairs directly to the left.
Stepped in the door and hit the floor.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fractured in 3 spots.
Oh, no. I was going to ask that if it was a sprain or a fracture.
Yeah.
Well, look at you, braving the crowd. You went through the airport. That's got to be fun going through security with that. Well, thanks for joining us today, guys. I'm Kaylee Clark. I'm our partner development manager here at LiveRes. I know a couple familiar faces. You've already heard this spiel. But my job's just to make sure that you guys are as optimized as possible, whether that's an existing LiveRes partner or a brand new one. It's really my job to just make sure that you're loving our platform, using it for everything that it's capable of, and you're connected with people you want to be connected to. And today, I have Brady Stump with RentalGuardian, CEO and co-founder. Sorry, I'm not trying to steal your thunder. I met Brady a couple years ago in 2019. They were actually the first integration in our integration marketplace, so that's a really big deal. And I'll let Brady take it away, but I'm going to preface with he loves 90s rap music and hip hop. So if you guys, yeah. Oh, what?
We didn't do a dance off, though, did we? We was just
No,
Yeah. Okay.
but I'd win
Right.
the dance off.
I don't know.
You'd probably win like the rap battle, but I definitely
Okay.
just save it for tomorrow night, guys. I'm going to
All right.
win the dance off.
All right. I'm ready.
Okay, we're going to dive in. This is what we're going to cover today: travel insurance, the good, the bad, the ugly, but opposites.
Yes. We were going over the presentation, and both Kaylee and I are really positive people. So we were like, let's start with the bad, and then we're going to talk about the good.
And we'll end with the good. We want to walk out with that good feeling. I grew up playing softball, guys, and there's no worse feeling than like ending practice or ending a game like on a really bad hit or a really bad at bat. So we're going to make sure that we're polishing up really nice at the end for you. And then we're going to end with like what the process looks like for travel insurance. This class is all about giving you, we're going to cover a lot. There's a lot of knowledge being passed around here. Everything's recorded. Everything will be available in our help center as well afterwards. So if you're like, okay, they were talking about this thing on one of their 30 slides. What was that? All of that content will be available for you later. So
And that's perfect, too. We also have a couple flyers about some of our products, the travel insurance, and some of our business cards is over there as well.
yeah. So travel insurance, guys, a couple months ago, we sent out an email to all LiveRes partners. And so there were like 8,000 recipients on this email. And the survey was, hey, do you know what travel insurance is? Yes, no. 80% of LiveRes partners don't know what travel insurance is. Like they just don't know that it exists. because it's kind of like new in our industry, right? Travelers are finally kind of post-pandemic. I feel like that really pushed people and motivated them to want to protect their trip more. But what I am a super fangirl about is the fact that like you can sell travel insurance. It does not cost you anything. You just make money, and then you no longer have to deal with very upset guests, very upset owners who are out tons of revenue. So that's what we're really going to elaborate on today, starting with
AKA
the ugly part. So not offering travel insurance. We got lots of missed opportunities happening.
No, absolutely. I mean, so many of your property or your travelers, they're depending on you guys to make these bookings, to point them in the right direction. Folks, most people that buy travel protection are doing it for two things: for cancellation or interruption protection. And that's really, really critical. You know, there's hurricanes, natural disasters, road closures, sickness, illness, injury, death. There's just a million unforeseen reasons that could pop up. And it's really important that travel protection is offered to your guests, because you're missing that opportunity. They're going to go somewhere else and buy travel protection. It might as well be you. We've even seen, because my background's in technology, and we've done testing where there's property managers, you'll actually lose bookings if you don't offer travel protection, because when they're going through the process, they want to feel really comfortable. And that extra layer of comfort by buying travel protection really helps you seal the deal with the booking, which is your ultimate goal.
Sorry, all the restaurants are from downtown Boise are calling me like right at this very second. If you don't have dinner plans tonight, let me know. We can direct you a number of places. Sorry about that.
Party of 200.
Sorry about that. It's a party of 200 on Kaylee's credit card. Awesome. So moving on from missed opportunities there, guys, awkward guest conversations.
Yes.
And I kind of want to steal this just for a
Please.
second. I've been in a property manager's office who didn't offer travel. Well, they did, but this trip wasn't covered for some reason. And they were on the phone with this guest. This guest's mother had just died. This person was navigating through this phone call of trying to tell this woman, I'm sorry, I can't refund your stay. I'm so sorry about your mom, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We don't want you guys to have those conversations anymore. And so instead of having it be that awkward conversation, it really is trying to kind of manicure your team into knowing exactly how to describe travel insurance to your guests and what those conversations look like.
Well, and to Kaylee, we talked about one of the things that you don't want to have happen is those reviews online. And there could be an awkward conversation to where someone calls in and it's a terrible tragedy. They had a parent, a grandparent, someone pass away or get in a car wreck. And the worst thing that could happen is they are coming there for a $10,000 vacation. The first day in, you say, oh, and you have real empathy for them, but then you realize, oh no, that money's with the owner or whatever, and it creates these awkward conversations that you want to help that guest out, and that's where travel insurance can fill that role and add that layer of protection, so they're reimbursed. You're able to protect all the stakeholders, the guest, the property management company, as well as the owners.
Raise your hand if you've had a negative review because of like a situation like a flood or something you can't control. And how do you currently navigate around that? Like what are the words that you're saying to your guests when those situations happen?
Apologize for the inconvenience, I guess. There's not really
Right.
There's nothing else you can do, right? It is what it is. Yeah.
Right, and that's the key, right? With travel protection, it's so important. Like in the state of North Carolina, you have to actually like sign in writing, initial or signature, that you do not want travel protection. It's so important.
Yeah. Also, I just taught another class earlier today, and I cannot touch on this enough. The average live res partner makes about $30 to
120.
120.
Yep.
$60
Okay,
to 100. I was way wrong this morning, it turns out.
Yep.
$60 to $100 randomly on each process policy that you sell.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, the revenue is incredible.
Yeah.
We have so many property managers that we've even had some property managers that have said they literally break even, and then this is one of the primary profit centers for the product. Your travelers want it, they want to book it, and it's missed revenue. The hardest part, this is the part we were talking about, is the hardest part is to get those units and to build your business and get the travelers, right? You've put together all of the important pieces. You might as well offer these additional revenue opportunities for yourself, because they're going to book with you if you don't offer it, and then they're going to go purchase it from a third-party website. By offering it as part of the whole process, it keeps you plugged into the middle and a part of the entire experience. So.
Yeah. So 30,000 to 150K, guys. That's a lot of extra revenue in your pocket. Imagine what you can add to operations. Imagine what other softwares you can implement into your tech stack with an additional 150K. What laundry facilities can you guys purchase? Stuff like that. That's a lot of extra money just in your pocket.
And real quick, one other thing we're going to talk about too is there's multiple ways, when we get to the good,
Yes.
there's multiple ways to capture that revenue too, not just in the booking path.
Exactly. So moving into the bad, we're working our way up. The ecosystem. We want to make sure that your entire travel insurance ecosystem is tied together with a beautiful little bow on it. And so what I did a study, I was going to talk about this, but 46% of initial 46% of initial guest questions, so before they actually complete the booking process. First one is property information, how much detail can I give them? The second one is how can I protect my investment? What's going to happen if there's a flood? I know it's if you're in Cascara and in Sun River, Oregon, wildfires are a thing
Yes.
here in the Northwest. What's going to happen if a wildfire breaks out right next to the resort? What is this process? Do you get that question a lot, Wyatt, especially after this year?
A ton. That's
Yeah.
actually when I raised my hand about a one bad review about like someone.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have the travel insurance back then. Now we do. We just recently got RentalGuardian. They went on Facebook and said that we didn't offer them anything back, which wasn't even the case. We just couldn't give it to them. But we offered them what we call a holding account, which I despise.
Yeah.
Holding accounts. I work with them all the time, being operations manager.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I do, and I really want to get out of them. So this is what's going to help us do that. So
Terrific.
Fires. If there's a fire even 100 miles away, we get
The smoke.
everything like that. And I've had days when I first started last year where we had to do about 25 holding accounts in one morning.
Jeez. Yeah, we got all of the smoke from Oregon over into Idaho
yeah.
this year. So that is one thing, guys, just being able to present as much information. Hey, you are coming to a travel destination. If you're going to Florida, if you're going to Houston, or if you're on the Gulf or anything like that, there's always something in this crazy unruled industry that we live in that could pop up and happen. So having an additional, Serena?
I have a question regarding the insurance. We do have travel insurance,
Okay.
but with Generali,
Uh-huh.
because they were before you guys.
Sure.
However, if it goes to natural disasters, like we have red tide,
Mm-hmm.
it's a big thing, especially for beachfront properties. If red tide is there, people cannot stay there.
Right.
You cannot use the beach. But certain things, or with COVID now as well, which was completely new, we have a lot of European travelers that couldn't travel because borders are closed.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the owner's fault nor the guests.
Right.
But we did have some cases, the owner said, no, we don't want to lose that amount because it's our loss too. They had a hard hit. We postponed a lot of bookings in order so the guests did not lose their money.
Right.
But there were certain cases when then the insurance said, no, we're not paying.
Yeah.
So what are you doing then?
So there's 30.
One of the great things about that we're going to talk about is that we have not only a standard travel protection during COVID, right? In our standard coverage, you had if you're sick of COVID, if someone in your family passes away, if it's affecting a traveler, if it's quarantine of that specific traveler, medical quarantine. But we also have a cancel for any reason program. Our competitors in the industry, they pulled theirs during COVID. We went to, David and I, my co-founder, went to Nationwide, and we're like, this is going to be massive if you guys will keep it. We know that you're going to take it on the chin. But we have that program, and it's just, tripled our company in the last 2 years.
I'm kind of, sorry, not to interrupt, kind of curious, and this might be overstepping. But
Yeah.
I know we have CFAR, cancel
Yep.
for any reason.
Right?
We have
In the standard travel protection.
standard. So what's better for the guest, the owner, and the property manager?
Great. So the great thing is all three. If you're a property manager and you add both products, you're going to have the standard travel protection and the cancel for any reason. So you have the ability to monetize both.
Okay.
For the property owner, it eliminates the situations to where if there's a claim, the owner can keep their money and then the traveler can file their claim. And then for the guest, they have options, right? Right now, and we're going to talk about the checkout, but you have 3 options basically. Traditional was 2 options. Do you want travel insurance? Yes or no, right? Well, what we do, and we've built this in with LiveRes, is that we have, do you want standard travel protection? Has a blurb about that. Would you like cancel for any reason travel protection? And then no, I wish not to or protect my vacation investment. And what we found is the no's, they're like, we need to get something by the standard. And then during COVID, the cancel for any reason has been fantastic for the types of situations that aren't maybe a direct covered reason, but it's a reason that, that it's unique, right? And so the cancel for any reason has provided such a benefit for guests, in the market.
And talking about website presence and website information, if you guys still are using like a COVID, like a call to action or like how to protect your trip, we'll create Blake HTML pages for you. We'll import all of these beautiful brochures on your website. That's a great place to do it with a nice little call to action button, like protect my trip. If I'm a guest and I see something like that, that call to action's a lot more likely to check out that product. Also, as far as website information, you guys have built out those beautiful scripts, right? As far as training the rest of the team.
Absolutely. So we have, in regards to the marketing material, we've built out some fantastic scripts for reservation agents on, kind of things, what to say and what not to say. And we go over that too. We have video training as well. And we've heard that, Kayla, we talked about that as so many reservation agents and team members like, I'm not really sure what to say. So we've really tried to think through that because that was something that we heard from property managers coming over to us and maybe starting with RentalGuardian.
And so Brady Beagley Reiner on our team, she used to work for a property manager, Blue Water Vacation Homes in San Diego. And what they did was incentivize their team to sell more travel insurance. So they said, okay, we're going to identify this high paying guest threshold. So like maybe your high paying guest threshold's a $5,000 reservation, or maybe it's a $3,000 reservation.
Right.
But once you identify what that threshold is, then try to upsell those reservations. Those guests are already willing to spend a large amount of money. What's a $60 travel insurance, a $100 travel insurance policy on top of that? Yeah, Wyatt?
Can you sell the travel insurance to third parties and OTAs after they already book through their third party?
You talking about the guest?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely you can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's when we're going to identify that high paying guest threshold. We can build custom CRM templates. So your team will be able to say, oh, okay, look, this is a high paying guest. Let's go ahead and send this, compose the message on their transaction, send that pre-form template that you've already created. Hey, I saw that you booked one of our top properties. Are you interested in protecting your trip? You did book during hurricane season. So as much as you can incentivize your guests and your team to sell travel insurance. Another
Yes.
cool thing in LiveRes, you can create unlimited options and fees and all kinds of stuff, right? Well, Brady's team, each reservationist that sold a travel insurance policy got 2% commission on that policy payout from Blue Water. So Blue Water was incentivizing their team to sell more travel insurance after they've identified that threshold. And then it kind of creates this cool competition. I mean, if anybody's like me, I'm like, okay, we're gonna have a competition. I'm gonna win this thing. Incentivize the team to kind of compete against each other. And then once you have those options and fees built out, you can run reports in the LiveRes system to see, it looks like Kaylee sold X amount of policies during this date range. Her calculation on that is X%. So
We've had so many people that have done things like that, a percentage or a flat $5 per travel protection policy, and it does incredible for the numbers.
Yeah.
So it ensures that your guests get the coverage they need, and then it's another way to incentivize your employees.
Sure. All right, the good. We're moving into the good stuff. So creating that perfect travel insurance ecosystem, how we
Absolutely.
get happy guests, happy owners, happy property managers.
Absolutely. So some of the elements that we're going to touch on real quick is having the travel protection as part of the booking process, absolutely critical. And not only doing that, but having it so it's API integrated. Property managers, I was a property manager myself. You guys wear a lot of hats. So if it's API integrated, so that means our system talks electronically to LiveRes. If you open a coverage, if you modify a coverage, if you cancel a coverage, it's talking electronically to each other. The other important part, too, of the technology piece that we provide to the industry and that you guys should seek is that it changes things. Your travelers are able to get the policies in real time. So when they make that booking on your website, LiveRes sends us that information, and immediately to their inbox, they have that information. They have the nationwide policy. They have all the information, how to file a claim, and it really cements, makes them feel good about, buying the travel protection and booking with you. They also have a 10-day free look period too. So that's really important. And then we're going to talk a little bit about, how you offer both the standard and the cancel for any reason. And then some of the other things that we do from a technology perspective. We've built microsites and a couple additional little things, because if you look at it and say a standard conversion rate's 20 or 25%, we've built a couple additional tools that we feel can get you 3% here, 5% more here. And at the end of the day, it adds up to be quite a lot of money.
For sure. And we can also, like in the LiveRes system, guys, we have the ability to offset any of, if you do want to opt into partner insured damage damage protection.
Yep.
Say that 10 times fast. The LiveRes system has ways for you to build stuff into the rental rate and continue to charge fees and options even outside of that realm. So I love the opt-in on the website. Moving into outbound marketing and automated emails. Do you guys know on each individual transaction in the LiveRes system, there's a policy timestamps? Do you know that? Why? I know you're in charge of onboarding at Cascara. So a lot of different places, and I wish I had the screenshot up on the screen. In the LiveRes, each transaction, there's what we call timestamps. The first one, you're nodding your head like, this is how I bust all of my teammates when they screw stuff up in the system. Great. There's There's a policy, a travel insurance policy timestamp as well, right down by the payment section. So if you're ever like, okay, when was that policy processed? Who modified that policy? Right. And at what point? You have a date and a timestamp and what user did that in your system. So, sorry.
That's great.
Moving back to outbound marketing.
So on some of the outbound marketing within the LiveRes system, they have different settings that you can do for messaging. When you combine the messaging with, for us at least, is we also create these microsites that you can embed those in your messages. And the way we kind of think about it is we know that 98% of your sales are going to come from the booking engine or from your reservation agents where you get the data. But there's still times where it's 9 o'clock at night and you've sent that guest, hey, we're super excited about your stay or whatever, and you can embed in that messaging this link where they can buy it right there, 10 o'clock at night on their mobile phone, sitting in bed, watching Netflix, whatever. Click the button, they can buy the travel protection. On those unique cases, when we process the payment, then we send you the commission at the end of the month.
This is a really good example, guys, of that travel insurance call to action. That could be protect your trip. Think about really nice keywords that would entice your guests to want to purchase these additional features.
And that came too, Kaylee, from just talking to our customers that they want to have a travel protection link right there on their website. So what we've done is the information that we'll give you, we can help build out all the content on that page because a lot of travelers, they want to have that comfort knowing that you offer travel protection. It's just not selling them travel protection and protecting the trip. It makes them feel more comfortable making the booking. So.
Absolutely. Also, it says, consider this in your main menu. I highly, highly, highly recommend having this as a standalone call to action. Don't put it underneath any drop downs. Don't put it under About Us. Don't put it under Property Management. Have it be its own call to action, whether that's in your menu. One of our partners, Branson Vacation Retreats, they have a beautiful rustic website that I love, and they have it as just a banner that's kind of going across the top of their website. And as you scroll, you can click on more COVID information. They kind of rotate that content out. So it's really good to make sure, since this is making you more money.
Right, it's top of mind, right? It's
make sure that we're being strategic about where we're putting that on the website. Sorry, guys, you don't need to see my HubSpot add-in. Any questions so far? We're moving really fast, just letting you guys all know, so we might have time to go. I don't know if it's happy hour anywhere else, but okay. So moving on. Sorry, yep, moving on too much. Okay, team training. Brady,
Team
tell us
training,
more.
yeah, so absolutely. Team training, that's also really important for us when our particular company and other companies, some of them do the same things, but you're going to get online video training. We also offer live training sessions because we really want the reservation team to feel really comfortable about the travel protection product. That's also another thing that may be holding you back from selling more travel protection, is making sure everyone feels really comfortable. We have scripts, and if whoever you're working with now doesn't have scripts, encourage them to develop scripts. And it's as basic as, we've written out all of the text and content on, talking with a guest or whatever. So that's absolutely important. The other great thing too, that I think is really underrated is Nationwide does a great job with travelers. And they have experts that if it's beyond these 6 or 8 basic items, then you can refer them to Nationwide and they can answer those questions.
Yeah, they're big names. So it makes, like, as a guest, I'm like, oh, Nationwide. I recognize that name.
Right.
There's some brand recognition there. I went to this branding class yesterday, so I'm all on this branding juice right now. But that is a brand that I, as a potential traveler, recognize and automatically trust because I know that they're an elevated company in this realm. One thing I was going to say, going back to the team training, we have tons of content in the Live Res Help Center, guys. There is a designated section just for travel insurance and for RentalGuardian.
Right.
There are we've done
4 or 5 articles I've written for it.
Well, yeah, he hand wrote some article, not hand. I mean, it's okay,
No,
great. It's 2021, I think. But we've done 3 or 4 webinars together.
Yeah, we have, absolutely.
So there's
See, I
recorded
forgot about
webinars in
those.
there, tons and tons of additional content too. So when we're talking team training, like, it's not just training by the RG team, it's
Right.
by LiveRes too. So just make sure that you're leveraging both teams during that initial onboarding and setup. And then lastly, what is the process for getting started? Nope, I lied.
There you go. I just want to touch on a couple
Yep.
of real quick things
Going back.
on the product. So our main product is the Play Travel Protection. Speaking specifically about RentalGuardian, it's used. We work with about over 1,000 property managers around the world. The cool thing about what we talked about, we have a standard travel protection and we have a cancel for any reason travel protection. The way those two products break down is the standard travel protection has 30 covered reasons. It's the most in the industry. It covers all of the basic things. It even covers things like your pet dog gets sick or passes away within 7 days. You can cancel a trip for that. Has ones for, if your business says they need you to stay. And all the natural disasters, hurricanes,
Red
death.
Tide? Does Red Tide count?
I believe so.
Cool.
Do you know?
C4 would be the way to deal with red tide,
Okay.
because sometimes it's a quality, it's not a, I just don't want to go because it stinks. Or air, that would be C4.
A cancel for any reason.
Like if you're in Gatlinburg or you're in the Tahoe area,
Where they don't do evacuation.
it's great because you can say if it's smoky, you can still get
Right.
the cancel for any reason.
Perfect.
Awesome.
So
Did you catch that, Serena? The CFAR is what's going to help you with Red Tide.
So on the standard travel protection, there's 30 covered reasons. They cover up to 100% for cancellation or interruption. And then the way the Play Travel Protection, the cancel for any reason works, you still get 100% protection on those 30 covered reasons, but we call it reason 31. Reason 31 just picks up everything else. And if you have to cancel for a reason that's not in the policy, then it's a 60% benefit. So they have both of those options right there. A couple of other things too, that if you're using a program, some of the other programs might not allow you to sell to New York travelers. So we have a solution for that. Other things that we've talked to from Live Res customers that have come over to us. You can also, anyways, it came up today that you can pay us however you want, credit card, ACH. I know with some of the other folks that you can only pay by check.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you can pay however you want, and you can do that online as well. So we make that really simple. And I think you can't underestimate the Nationwide brand. Everyone knows the jingle, Nationwide is on your side. Those commercials with Peyton Manning and Kenny, yeah. So anyways, It's a great program, and we sell tens of thousands of policies every month. So.
And the cool thing, guys, in the LiveRes system, there are 2 specific reports just for travel insurance. So if you're wanting to track like how many policies you've sold during a specific date range, when you go to pay, a number of ways,
Right.
you're able to track all of your policy details right within your LiveRes system as well. So now, to get started, the process, you'll reach out to our team, sales@liveres.com, and then what happens from there?
Then they're going to connect with us.
Yeah, I'll connect,
right?
yeah.
But we make it really, really simple. The training's web-based. You're going to have an account manager that's going to walk you through the process. You're going to do some online training with the videos. And if you're a team that says, hey, I want all of my team on one call, we can set up an online training for you as well. But it's all web-based. One of the things that when I was a property management company, where I owned a property management company in Pawleys Island, South Carolina, about 12 years ago, one of the things that we saw, we had our reservation agents, they kept going to the fax machine and sending over travel insurance policies. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, oh, this is how we do the travel insurance. I was like, we've got to fix this. And yeah, I know, right? I know. And I was just like, I can't believe this has to be fixed. So that's where we tried to add a lot of different technology tools, from policy delivery to online claims, things like that. And then we were able to go out and convince, some of these world-class underwriters to work with us. So our partnership with LiveRes is fantastic. And we've also included some information over there, but would love to work with you guys. And also, if there's any additional questions, happy to answer.
Happy to answer it. Yeah, Serena.
We do. Yes, we do. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So one thing that you won't have with that program, and I don't know if it's an issue, we have the standard damage protection.
I know.
So on the standard damage protection, one of the unique things about our program is we saw that the damage protection programs in the industry protect the guest, right? So the way that they're filed is the guest is like the insured party. One of the things that we did different, we made the property manager the insured party, because what we saw was happening is sometimes the guests will stay there and they're like, oh no, we didn't break the lamp. We stepped over top of it the whole week. And you're like, are you kidding me?
You're like, did you?
Yeah, exactly.
TV broke itself?
Right, exactly. And then what's bad is when they say they didn't do it, then it doesn't get paid, right?
And then you dispute back and forth and back and forth and back
and then it's a bad review, right?
Yes.
We had to disclose it on the website, so you're not allowed to force them to get the damage protection insurance.
Right.
You still have to offer the security deposit,
right,
which we don't really do. Everyone gets the
right,
protection because it's less money and it covers up to $3,000.
right.
However, now because we have it disclosed on the website, they do not need the guest approval anymore.
Okay.
They don't. So they can submit it. It just takes months, 2, 3 months, sometimes until you hear something back.
Yeah. So the processing for us is once you get us all the information, it's all web-based, right? So you're going to go in line, tell us what happened, upload a picture of the damage if there's an available one, and then a receipt of the replacement, not the original TV, but the new one you purchased at Target or whatever, and you upload it to our underwriters, and they adjudicate in about 12 to 15 days. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's the dispute for if it's partner insured damage protection? Do you guys help with the guest dispute? What does that process look like?
Yeah, so the dispute resolution, the vast majority are paid because you're directing, this is accidental damage, but there's a dispute process with the underwriter. The other neat thing about what we do, since we're providing the technology as a kind of insure tech type company, we have a lot of sway with the underwriters. So sometimes we'll even consider ourselves like we're the property manager advocate. The great thing is we have great partners, and 98% of all the claims get paid right out the chute, so it's not an issue.
Also a great value proposition for your owners. If you guys are looking to start charging owners annually for your services, or when you're onboarding new owners, you're charging them $1,000 onboarding fee, which I highly recommend doing something like that. That's a huge value proposition, the partner insured damage protection, because the property is the insured party. So by allowing me to professionally manage your property, not only do you get all of these amazing services
Right.
that I provide, but your property is the insured party rather than the guest. So, and to me, like that's one of the biggest selling propositions I give to owners is our beautiful featured properties on our websites. And also we have partner insured damage protection, which a lot of different companies do not.
And we have an enhanced version of that too. You can come by our booth and talk a little bit about it. But the enhanced damage protection, it has the damage protection, and then it also has $1 million in host liability, meaning that if there's a slip and fall, someone falls off the deck, if they want to sue the property manager and the owner, there's an additional $1 million in protection. So if you're chasing new owners, they love hearing about that thing because it shows that you went a step beyond to make sure you protect their property. And we're the only one, one of the only ones in the industry that have that program. So.
Yeah, Wyatt.
So, a guest books, you're on the phone with them, and they want travel insurance. Obviously, it's not a flat fee every single time.
Right.
So once you get to that point, like they want to buy travel insurance, do we direct them to you? Do we get that
That's-
price based off of live res? And where is that at? And what steps do we take once we get them? They want the travel insurance.
It's a great question. So two ways, right? So it's going to be either via phone or via the internet, right? So if it's an online booking, what you want to be able to do, get with your account manager, success manager, and they'll set up within the live res, so it's offered within the checkout, right? So that the first one is definitely offered within the checkout. The second piece is if it's a reservation through someone called in or an email or whatever. What you're going to do is and if they said yes, I want the travel protection, you're going to click that in your live res dashboard or your system
On the transaction itself.
Exactly, and
But
it's going
just
to
click-
calculate it.
Yep, you'll check that box and click update price options. That's going to pop in the calculated price for you, and then click update transaction, and you'll see that amount kind of pop in there right either above or below the payment section.
And then when the guest gets it, it'll have the line item right there,
Yep,
right?
and then
Yeah.
you get the policy timestamps too.
Yeah, so it might even be better to just put yes right away to see how much it is. That way when you offer, like you can add travel insurance for just this amount.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And that's a
good
really
feedback.
good. I'm glad you said that because that's a really good technique that reservation agents do, because you can see it right there. It's a really good
Sorry,
idea.
I thought I broke something again.
Okay.
Nope, not this time. What other questions do you guys have? Yeah.
You said we have RentalGuardian.
Perfect.
travel
Awesome.
insurance, but we don't know how to sell it. I've learned a lot of great things here, but you say you have scripts like.
We do. We do. Absolutely. Give me one of your cards after the thing, and we'll make sure we get those to you.
Yeah, and you
Awesome.
can literally print them out and give them to your reservationist,
Yeah,
right? So they
absolutely.
can have them next to their desk while they're yielding those guest phone calls.
We had a property manager. What they did, it was really cool. They had like 6 or 8 little cubicles, and we laminated it for them, sent it to them, and then they just pinned it. Everyone had it right there. So
Yeah.
happy to help out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more
Great.
information you can, that's all it's about, guys, presenting that information.
So a guest calls us and they want to cancel.
Yep.
Do we direct them to you after that step? Like after we've sold them on it?
Right.
Do they come to us to get refunded for it? Does
Be-
it all go through your systems?
Yeah, so the great thing about our partnership with LiveRes is it's connected via that API. So the system of record is LiveRes, right? So when you mark in that system, cancel, that's going to send the record over to us, right?
And then you refund in the LiveRes system.
Right, so that's how it's handled. There's certain things like the standard travel protection, there's a 10-day free look period, right? So the way travel protection works is the benefit of travel protection typically, and also the covered, the time it's covered, they get the benefit before they check in, right? So if I purchase a policy now and I'm going on vacation in Thanksgiving, I get the benefit now if I have to cancel, right? Damage protection is different in that there's no risk for the underwriter until the time of check-in. So they've got the 10-day free look period.
Good question.
And it all talks electronically too, right? So the modification, we talked about this. If you need to add a couple of days to your trip, the systems, LiveRes and RentalGuardian, are going to talk electronically to each other. So if that rate goes up $200, it's going to take the 200 times 7% as well. Makes it
Automatically
really
calculate it. You don't have to
absolutely
keep up on that.
makes it super simple.
Yeah. All good questions. Any other ones? Do you guys want some time back in your lives to not be working or in class? Yeah.
So, just, I think you said, but, when a guest purchases travel insurance, you guys automatically send them.
We do. Absolutely. So they'll get the emails from RentalGuardian. They get 2. The way it works in kind of travel insurance world, is they get one. The first one's called a CVL, stands for Coverage Verification Letter, and it's an email just letting them know, hey, you purchased travel protection. We're in the process of obtaining the policy number and the details from Nationwide. Then shortly after that, they'll get an email called the DOC, the description of coverage, and they can click a link, download the policy, has the hotline for claims, their policy number, all the information about Nationwide Mutual. So, and we just felt that, you know, versus just sending them a brochure and they don't get a policy number with some of the other guys, having that
Yeah, that's
information
really
right
helpful.
to their inbox, you know, continues to build that trust, and it makes you as a property manager look better, right? It makes you look, you know, hey, these guys are the real deal. So, you know, it's worked out great.
And I will say too, you have a CRM where you have unlimited templates you can build. I always say like, hey, you know, like if it were me, I'd say Boise's Best Vacation Homes here. Just wanted to let you know, you just opted in for travel insurance. Check your email. You just got your policy. And then I have all nice and branded with my company.
Yes.
So then they realize that this is a professional service that my company is also offering, but also make sure you get your policy number because it's in your email. So I think it's also helpful to do that as well. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. Can you talk about how easy it is to modify a travel policy? We've had that question come up
Yeah.
several
So,
times in your, I'm curious in your system, what happens?
Yes.
If there's a change to the booking that affects the travel policy?
It does. It will automatically adjust the travel policy, just like Brady said. And this is all visible in those timestamps, guys. So if you're like, okay, I know I changed properties and that property has a higher rental rate or whatever that is, those timestamps are going to show the change in the policy amount, when it happened, and that also correlates with the timestamps that we mentioned up above on the transaction.
that's great.
So everything updates in real time, all the time, via that API,
That's
as
right.
Brady would say.
Yeah, exactly. My southern accent.
I loved it. You said, I was like, oh, I like the way he
That's
says that.
By the way, my David and I,
Yeah, good question,
we've
David.
done, you know, it's been a busy trade show season, so we always try and work a funny word into it. So I totally bombed. But it was supposed to be Willy Wonka, and what I was going to say, if you guys haven't been to that swag store, you know, with your chips,
The
it's like a
chips.
Willy Wonka ticket. So anyways.
Has everybody been to the swag?
The swag is, yeah, that's pretty
Did
cool.
everybody get enough swag?
Yeah.
Go down to registration and said, Kaylee said I can have another token.
Oh, okay. There you go. That's a special
down
gift
there.
from our.
Don't tell anybody else or
Yeah, yeah,
Amber
yeah.
will kill me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those lanterns are really cool. Yeah, exactly.
Actually, no, I'm just kidding.
Any
But
other
yeah, guys,
questions?
any other questions?
Appreciate you guys coming.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks,
so much.
guys. Fabulous.
Appreciate it.
Brady, nice work.